Why do we see a pattern of discrimination, suppression, and prejudice against Black Africans? And why does that pattern persist even today? Historically speaking, the hostility that white Europeans and Arabs felt toward Black Africans was caused by the Black Africans' perceived superiority from the beginning of civilization. Black Africans were the wealthiest of the rich, living in gold cities and inspiring envy in the world. As a result, non-Black people with an inferiority complex chose to portray Black Africans as inferior, and they did it remarkably well by using their dark complexion, plump lips, and woolly hair. Yes, they felt so threatened that they declared Black Africans to be a backward, inferior race, and their struggle was to demonstrate how uncivilized the wicked journey against Black Africans began today, because they thought they could teach them how civilized people like them live. Even though no one says anything, history speaks loud enough to be ignored. So the real question that needs to be addressed is why Black Africans are perceived as a threat by non-Black people, and why does this sentiment prevail, even now? Welcome to a new video where we discuss the individuals who are clearly the forefathers of and superior to all Black people. We examine history in order to bring Black culture back to the forefront. Let's get started. In this video, we will dispel the myth that Black Africans were historically perceived as a threat. Black people are the strongest people on Earth, both historically and currently. This strength is reflected in their physical charisma, which is concealed from everyone. Black people knew that if they were allowed to participate in their affairs, they would eventually dominate what they held dear. As a result, Black people were left in the whirlpool of a newly created system. Non-Blacks, like the European colonizers, made it a social culture to enslave Blacks because they could not compete with Blacks in terms of strength, was deemed civilized, and these civilized people were then deemed worthy of being kings and rulers. In other words, Black people were removed from the equation of power. This is because non-Black people altered the system that classified people based on physical superiority, which was deemed inferior, as opposed to being delicate and fragile, which was considered superior because European colonists were themselves weak and delicate. This was propagated as a sign of delicacy in the writings of Greek philosophers like Aristotle, who appeared to view slaves as people born to be subjected. Keep in mind that the majority of those in slavery back then were Black. Since Black people were enslaved and denied all basic rights, Aristotle believed that these slaves should work for their Greek masters, so that the masters could enjoy their leisure without hesitation. However, Black people were viewed as inferior, even different, and brutal punishments were meted out to them because it was believed that they were less sensitive to pain. This brings us to the second reason for the threat, which is genetic annihilation. Black people were undoubtedly stronger, more charismatic, and bolder than non-Black masters, so the threat of genetic annihilation existed. Essentially, white Europeans and non-Black people were aware that if they married a Black person, their genes would eventually become subservient and eventually go extinct. This is because mating results in the fusion of genes from the male and female, and the child's appearance is the manifestation of the dominant genes. In this particular case, however, regardless of whether a Black person married a white woman or an Arab woman, the Black man's genes would dominate, essentially eradicating non-Black people's genetic makeup. Black slaves were forbidden from marrying non-Black individuals because they were aware of the survival of the fittest natural law, which makes Black people. The fear of Black people made the non-Black people superior to them, and they adopted the black blood drop strategy, which said that anyone with even a trace of Black blood was inferior, taken from normal people, and placed in the same class as other Black people. However, there is evidence that this wasn't the case in Latin America, where the Spanish and Portuguese empires existed. There, people married their slaves and had children who were entitled to all the rights. Even Arabs married their Black slaves and had children who identified as Arabs and adhered to Arab culture and customs. The third reason for the threat was that Black people were the first human civilization to emerge. History and fossil records clearly show that Black people originated in Africa, so there is no difference on this point. Before we go any further, let us know if you enjoyed the video. If so, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and their natural superiority. The idea that Black Africans survived and prospered when no other race was even born is just implausible and somewhat unconventional. Over generations, they were encouraged to develop cognitive skills until they reached the point of creating the first human civilization. Some black Africans have migrated to Asia and Europe, where they are now living. However, non-black field resentment stems from their refusal to accept that they are descended from the same race that they have been calling inferior for centuries. Regardless of whether they accept this, a DNA test would already resolve the matter, as genetic testing has revealed that Europeans share 4 to 20% of their genes with ancestral groups from Northwest Africa. In other words, no matter which human you choose, you will have traces of African genes in them, proving that black people are the real ancestors. The ancestors of all people, but non-blacks don't want that to happen, because if it does, it will break non-blacks' illusion that black Africans are the source of power and show that Africa, not Europe or the West, is the center of the world. Black Africans will also become a threat to non-blacks because they will be added to the power equation. The fact that Africa is the most resourceful continent on Earth and has an abundance of natural resources including oil, gas, gold, silver, diamonds, and other precious metals is the fourth obvious reason for feeling threatened. There are mountains in Africa with gold hidden beneath a few layers that Africans frequently obtain and that non-blacks are unable to comprehend. How can they understand that Africans are so wealthy? They can't forget the amazing accounts of Africa's wealth in Arabic literature by Arabs such as Al-Fazari, which make it clear how prosperous and wealthy Africa was centuries ago, when the rest of the world had no idea what money was. Africans are stereotyped as having less cognitive ability to make their own decisions, which is why European colonizers like France, Spain, Italy, and Britain colonized Africa and exploited its natural resources. Al-Fazari called Ghana the city of gold and the king of Ghana the wealthiest sovereign alive, knowing that non-black people cannot allow Africans of today to have all the resources. France still has half of the gold in the African country stored in its vaults. In an interview, Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni disclosed that France prints money for African nations in exchange for gold, which is worthless pieces of paper. Did you know that these threats make non-black people hostile toward black Africans? Do you think that, despite centuries passing, nothing has changed and non-black people still feel threatened? Please share your thoughts in the section below. Have you ever wondered why there is always one black person in every team, committee, talk show, and movie? We'll give you a hint. It demonstrates that everything is normal. However, the truth is that if you would like to see more videos like this one, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon next to it. We have chosen to bring videos on a topic about which no one has spoken before: the history of black culture and civilization and the evidence supporting black supremacy. Thank you for watching, and until the next video, please stay tuned.